Hey, this is the front garden bed. That's the Japanese maple that I inherited, and this beautiful Brunera that I inherited, which I keep cutting pieces out of and planting other places because it's really nice and seems to be cast iron. I have a new climbing rose, Eden, there in the corner. There's some baptisia that'll grow up there, a holly, some iris. Probably not a great choice in iris. It's burgundy with the burgundy leaves here and the burgundy on that. Probably swap those out for something else. This is my new Japanese maple, a green one that will turn orange in fall, which is going to go with that one when they get big. And a lilac that I am slowly but surely taking down all the old pieces. Couple rhododendrons, little ones in the back. This is a seedling for a Fraser fir, basically a Christmas tree that I'm going to grow up, which will replace this lilac and sit next to this Japanese maple. And there's a lot of narcissus that from Anne's garden, all over the place. In fact, every place you look, those are lovely. More Brunera. They also call that Siberian bug loss. This is the non-variegated form. And then we have the big oak tree, which I've planted more of the Brunera and have started growing hostas around the outside edge, which are all starting to come up in various stages. There's a climbing hydrangea, which I'm going to see if I can climb up this tree. That's got it last year on clearance at Lowe's, and so this year it lived. And an interesting thing I learned about the oak trees recently is that they grow in places with wet winters and dry summers. So if you plant things at their base, they need to be things that do not need to be watered in the summer, because if you water them in the summer at the foot of the oak tree gets more water than it wants to, and it can be prone to rot. So these hostas are going to have to make it on their own. Over here, actually, this little bald spot is where I put a lot of my indoor houseplants, large ones that usually sit here in those spots. And there's some lamium in the middle. And, oh, what is that stuff? Ground cover. More Siberian bug loss, more lamium. That one, I think it's a sport of this one, jumped the sidewalk. And I tore out a bunch of herbs here that I planted when I first moved. I left a little of the creeping thyme. There's a rose called, what one is that one called? Bonica. That climbing rose that's going to climb that arbor. And I planted some heuchera and two different kinds of columbine, a blue and a red, and then a perennial geranium that's supposed to be really obnoxiously pink. And those bulb greens laying on the ground are snowdrops that I found in the backyard, growing in a place that I will never see from in the winter when they bloom. So I dug them up and I separated them out, and I put them all kinds of places in the front gardens where I will see them getting out of my car in the winter, because you should see that sort of stuff.